As I promised on Tuesday, after Breaking Through News was the first to break the story that the Augusta County Sheriff's Office failed to obtain accreditation from the Virginia Law Enforcement Professional Standards Commission, I have a detailed report on why they were denied and what happened and what was said at the hearing where the commission voted 12-0 to not accredit the Augusta County Sheriff's Office under Sheriff Donald Smith. Many people are wondering how Breaking Through News was the first media outlet to break the story. How did Breaking Through News even know the commission was meeting? The sheriff didn't tell the media beforehand. And if you go on the Virginia Law Enforcement Professional Standards Commission's website and click on commission meeting dates, as of today, Thursday, October 10th, 2019, it's showing that the date of the conference is in October, but the specifics are to be announced. However, I was at the conference Tuesday and interviewed Virginia Law Enforcement Accreditation Coalition's Vice President, Michael McKinney, and was able to get footage of Sheriff Smith at the conference. Yesterday, October 9th, 2019, Sheriff Smith took to Facebook to give an explanation on why his agency wasn't accredited by the commission. But one must wonder, had I not been at the conference and broke the story, would the sheriff have even told the public that his department failed to get accredited? After all, I was the only media personality from the Valley that was there. In Sheriff Smith's Facebook press release, he withholds many details about what happened at the meeting, and he isn't forthcoming to the public about who the investigator was that checked the evidence out of the Augusta County Sheriff's Office and never returned it. But have no fear. If the sheriff doesn't want to tell you those things, I will. The sheriff may want to protect the identity of his investigator that messed up, but I don't, and I won't. You may be asking yourself, how could I possibly know these things? Well, brace yourselves. Through an attorney, a whistleblower that was present at the Virginia Law Enforcement Professional Standards Commission's accreditation hearing for the Augusta County Sheriff's Office has come forward. The whistleblower was able to record the commission's hearing, and I have that 30-minute recording, and will be playing portions of it throughout this report. In Sheriff Smith's Facebook press release from yesterday, October 9th, 2019, he claims that the only reason his agency was denied accreditation is because of a missing costume ring. But if you listen to the recording from the hearing and the comments made by some members of the commission, they are also questioning his competence. And while the sheriff is correct that he fixed several major actions and policies on site, what he fails to tell the public in his press release is that they were still mentioned at Tuesday's hearing. Most of the Augusta County Sheriff's Office's faults involved improper handling of evidence, including then investigator Michael Roan removing evidence from the evidence room and never returning it. The commission also found fault in Smith's patrol, court, and jail techniques, as well as departmental policies, procedures, and general orders. On Tuesday, October 8th, 2019, Sheriff Smith and his representatives were seated for the commission's hearing on their agency. At this time, the whistleblower was recording and continued to record the hearing until its finale. For over 11 minutes, the assessment of the Augusta County Sheriff's Office was read aloud, and then the commission began questioning Smith about his department's faults. The first fault deals with property and evidence. The commission found out that the Skyline Drug Task Force was using a black 3-door filing cabinet for the temporary storage of evidentiary cash and drugs seized from various operations. At Tuesday's hearing, when Sheriff Smith was questioned about the file cabinet, he laid the blame on other law enforcement agencies, but admitted that there was no chain of custody for the evidence that was kept in a temporary evidence cabinet in his sheriff's office.
One question on the file cabinets and lockers. We got a task force using this, and ultimately, what were the items that were placed in that file cabinet? We had so many officers that had keys in this cabinet, and they placed items in there. Whose policy were they operating under? Where were those items ultimately placed once they were taken?
They go back to whatever agency that person works for. Is where they go. We don't have any evidence in our evidence room that's not evidence from my task force members.
So there's not a primary evidence custodian of this cabinet for the task force?
No, sir. No, sir. Not that cabinet.
Alleged fault number 2 was Sheriff Smith's current first sergeant, who at the time of his screw-up was an investigator, Michael Roan, removing evidence from the evidence room and never returning it. Yes, this is the same Michael Roan that was temporarily suspended back in 2017 for shooting an Augusta County resident's family dog in the head, execution style. Roan was ultimately reinstated by Sheriff Smith, cleared of any wrongdoing, and given a promotion by Smith. The evidence Roan is accused of taking is a ring recovered from the bottom of a burn barrel on a murder suspect's property.
This goes back to the ring that we pulled that could not be found. While conducting the inspection, we were asking them to pull that case, and it could not be located. There was no documentation in the evidence room of the jewelry in the case being removed. Major Jenkins called First Sergeant Roan, who was the investigator on that case back when it occurred, and he advised that it could be in the major case file according to the system. I was also advised that First Sergeant Roan had checked the item out of evidence to show family members, as this case was linked to another case. Later in the day, Major Jenkins requested to see me in Rossville County to produce a document showing First Sergeant Roan had checked the jewelry out on March 9, 2016 for ID purposes, and the documents are in your packet. A copy. The items were never returned to evidence.
In yesterday's press release, Sheriff Smith referred to the ring as costume jewelry. But at Tuesday's hearing, none of the men on the commission referred to the ring as costume jewelry, and neither did Sheriff Smith. When asked about the missing evidence, Sheriff Smith told the commission that his office is conducting an internal investigation.
Has there been any resolution to the missing piece of evidence?
I actually have a internal affairs investigation that we're going to conduct on that. To be very candid, I'm not sure where the ring is.
If there really is an internal investigation, will the sheriff finally hold Roan accountable, or will he let him off the hook just like he did after Roan killed Tina Ray's beloved pet, Jax? One member of the commission told the sheriff that he can't fathom how Roan could have forgotten to log the ring.
I'm going to go A to Z through my property room, because one thing I learned in chief school was that will get you in trouble quicker than anything is your property room you inherited from somebody else. So I have really big concern. I've got a detective that can't recall what they've done with the ring that's taken out of evidence. I can't fathom.
Another member of the commission chastised Smith and questioned the Augusta County Sheriff's Office's competence.
That being that should have been the primary focus. And I don't think we're just talking about the ring in this case. We're talking about a separate black file cabinet that everybody on the task force has access to, which is a big evidence no-no.
During the hearing, Smith said most of his guys followed his department's procedures when it came to evidence. Most? Question mark? Shouldn't all of his guys follow his procedures or policies? Or are certain officers, like First Sergeant Michael Roan, exempt from the rules and regulations of the department? And if he is, then why is he? What does Roan have on the good sheriff? To conclude the hearing, the board voted unanimously 12-0 to not accredit the Augusta County Sheriff's Office. Not 7-5, not 8-4 or 10-2, but unanimously 12-0. And here's the roll call.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to not accredit the Augusta County Sheriff's Office.
I have a motion to not provide accreditation to the Augusta Sheriff's Office. A second. I have a second. I ask the program managers for a voice vote on this matter, please.
Chief Reinhardt. Sheriff McLaughlin. And your proxy. Sheriff Warren. Sheriff Alderson. Chief Pike. Chief Lance. Sheriff Draper. And your proxy. Chief Hartman. Chief Arnold. Sir, you have 12 votes for a nay for accreditation.
Remember, folks, getting the Augusta County Sheriff's Office accredited was one of Sheriff Smith's key campaign promises back in 2015 before he was elected. Now here we are, 4 years later, and he has failed to do so. And now he is up for re-election in less than a month. After I broke the news yesterday that Sheriff Smith failed to receive accreditation, some of our viewers suggested that this isn't a big deal. It is definitely a big deal when you aren't checking on inmates in temporary holding cells. They could escape. It's definitely a big deal when your department is having new evidentiary problems and issues while still being under investigation for old evidentiary problems and issues created under your predecessor. And it's definitely a big deal when the sheriff continues to allow officers like Michael Roan to operate outside of department policies and procedures as if he answers to no one but himself. While other deputies are driving regular cruisers, First Sergeant Roan gets to drive around in a souped-up, unmarked, beautiful black Ford F-150 with a bull bar. And now the sheriff is withholding his name from the public as the investigator at the focus of the internal investigation. Why is First Sergeant Roan being treated so well by Sheriff Donald Smith? And the most important reason accreditation of the Augusta County Sheriff's Office is a big deal is because Smith himself said it's a big deal. If it wasn't a big deal, he wouldn't have made it a part of his campaign platform in 2015, and he wouldn't have been in front of the commission begging for accreditation on Tuesday at the DoubleTree in Charlottesville. If the people of Augusta County think that they have something different under Sheriff Donald Smith than they did under Sheriff Randy Fisher, they don't. As a matter of fact, they may have something much worse. In the Breaking Through newsroom, Theodore Whitelow, Breaking Through News.